Hello, friends, and welcome back to Stories About Entitled People. Today, we're diving into the wild adventures of a DoorDash driver who just wanted to deliver some food and head home. What started as a simple drop-off turned into a slow-speed showdown with an overly concerned grandma who believed 10 miles per hour was way too fast. But before we begin, best way to support our channel is to leave comments, like, and subscribe with the turned-on bell so you don't miss the new video every single day. Here we go. You're going too fast. I DoorDash as full-time due to my disability, hip dysplasia, and loose tendons, if anyone asks. It was past 7:30 p.m., pretty much my time to end my shift and go home. I had to drive 10 miles to drop off the food. I came to a dirt road with gravel, so I slowed down to 10 miles per hour. There was 3 large properties with trailers in each of them. The last trailer was my drop-off, and it looked like this family owns a business by the trackers and bulldozer. I pulled into the driveway as I slowed down, parked my car, and grabbed the food. Soon as I got out, I heard a voice. "You're going too fast." I looked where the voice was coming from and found an old lady sitting next to a fire pit. "Sorry, what?" I called to her. "You're going too fast. We have children and pets here. You need to slow down," she yelled back at me. I wasn't going to argue with her. I gave her a wave and said, "Yes, ma'am." Went up to the door and knocked. A gentleman, probably in his early 20s, opened the door and apologized. "Sorry for driving fast on the driveway." The lady at the fire pit told me I was driving too fast. "Tell her I said I'll drive slowly and next time." "Oh, okay." He takes the food and looks at the old lady, giving her the WTF look. I gave her a little wave and a smile. She just sat there and watched me with a glare. I get into my car and proceed to back up very slowly, 3 miles per hour. I stopped when I was able to see her in my rearview mirror, switch into drive, and go forward 3 miles per hour. Halfway out of the driveway, she speeds up and starts to yell at me. No clue why. I was driving at a safe speed. I drove back onto the dirt road and kept going 3 miles per hour with her slowly walking towards me with her cane waving in the air. Took me 2 minutes to get out of the dirt road with her still on my tail. Very far on my tail. As soon as I got on the road, I gave her a wave with a smile, drove off at the normal speed limit. At least I can say no children or pets were hurt during this delivery. Thanks to this lady for putting me in my place. She's upset because you're kicking up dust. Any speed that has your tires kicking up dirt's gonna upset her. You were being respectful, driving slower. Pay people like her no mind as long as you're not leaving them in a cloud of dust. And our second story. You can't expect to win the lottery if you just throw money away. I figured that when the customer service desk employee started regularly asking me if I had any new crazy stories to tell them, I should start posting them too. I work in the electronics department of a large national retail chain that sells a little of everything. So a middle-aged male guest approaches me and asks to check out. All's well so far. He's a bit brusque, but customers being less than polite's old news. Right off the bat, he tells me very firmly, "I want to use up this prepaid Visa, so I'm splitting the payment." This is, of course, totally fine, and I assure him so in my best retail chirp. He continues, very seriously, "There's only a penny on here, but I'm not going to throw away good money. You can't expect to win the lottery if you just throw money away." I give a polite laugh at this. It's a strange enough phrase that I have to assume it's a joke, despite his intensely dour face. I ring up his purchases, and then he hands me an employee discount card to scan as well. Notably, not one that belongs to him, according to the very feminine name listed, so I assume it's a significant other, which explains why he doesn't know why this is a problem. Me: "Sir, unfortunately, if you use an employee discount, you can only pay using cash or our store credit/debit card." He stares at me. I must clarify. Me: "I can't accept the prepaid card as a payment if you want to use the discount." This shouldn't be a problem, right? I mean, the discount's 10% off, way more than a single cent. "I told you I want to use this card. It's money. Even if it's just a penny, it's my money. You can't expect to win the lottery if you just throw money away." Me: "I understand that, sir. Unfortunately, you have to use only cash or the store card to pay when you use an employee discount. Him. Why won't you take my money? It's still legal. It's a good penny. Me. Sir, as much as I want to help you, the register will not accept it. Him. Run it anyway. Okay, sometimes people just have to see the error message themselves, I suppose. I dutifully punch the keys. He swipes the prepaid card, and the register helpfully displays the "cannot accept this payment with an employee discount" message. I turn the screen to show him, and he looks even more angry. Him. Fine. Go back and take the employee discount off. Me. Sir, I'd be happy to do that for you, but you understand that using the discount would save you more money. You could just save the prepaid card and use it another time somewhere else. Him. Don't talk back to me. Just do it. All right. Who am I to argue with such a pleasant request? I go back and void the discount barcode, then tell him his new total. He angrily swipes the prepaid Visa, folds it in half, and throws it over my head towards the trash can behind me. Classy. Him. There, was it that hard? I just want to use my money. You can't win the lottery. You all know how this goes. Then he hands me the employee discount card again. I stare at it, then at him. Him. Well, add the discount to the total now. Me. Sir, I can't. I told you the register won't let you use a discount card with payments that aren't cash or the store card. Him. Well, I used the stupid card already, so now you can discount what's left. Me. Sir, you see the discount card is a barcode. I have to scan it back at the item screen, which means in order to go back and add it again, I need to void your prior payments. That's why I warned you to save your prepaid card for another time and just use the discount instead. He stares at me, then stares over at the trash can where his now ruined Visa sits. Him. I can't believe I threw good money away anyway after all that. He grumbled to himself a little, finally paid in cash, and left. Too bad he'll never win the lottery now. What the hell does his catchphrase even mean? Does he think there's someone monitoring who the cheapest people are and then entering them into a lottery as a reward for not wasting their money? I honestly can't understand how it could mean anything else. But that makes no sense. The layers of stubbornness, misunderstanding, and unnecessary drama in this one encounter are just crazy. I'd love to point out that the time he wasted was worth far more than a penny, but I doubt that kind of logic would penetrate his skull. And our last story. How Karen tried to take over the beach and lost. Let me set the stage. My family and a close family friend, Diane, own beach houses in a quiet coastal town. It's a little slice of heaven until that family shows up. You know the type. Entitled, obnoxious, and utterly convinced the world revolves around them. This story's about Karen, her equally entitled family, and how they managed to ruin a perfectly good day at the beach. Diane took her whole crew, her husband, kids, and her elderly mom, down to the pier for a day of swimming and relaxing. While the younger crowd splashed in the water, Diane and her mom stayed under the public pavilion to enjoy the shade. It was peaceful, at first. Cue Karen, her over-the-top family of at least 20 people, and her obnoxious teenage son, Dave. Without so much as acknowledging Diane or her mom, Karen's clan marched into the pavilion like they owned it. They set up folding tables, coolers, and even a mini buffet right behind Diane and her mom, boxing them in completely. Diane, always polite and respectful, decided to try reasoning with Karen. Diane, hi there. Could you move your setup just a little? My mom and I barely have any room here. Karen, rolling her eyes, excuse me, we live here. We can do whatever we want. Diane, this pavilion's public property. It's meant for everyone. Karen, smirking, whatever, we're not going anywhere. Realizing there was no reasoning with Karen, Diane sighed and sat back down, trying to ignore the noise. Unfortunately, things only escalated from there. The family cranked up their music, yelling and laughing loudly over it. Just as Diane thought it couldn't get worse, Dave decided to show off his jet ski skills. Dave sped into the water, doing donuts and figure eights dangerously close to the dock. He sent massive waves crashing onto the shore, soaking unsuspecting swimmers and forcing families out of the water. Diane, to another beachgoer, unbelievable. Someone's going to get hurt. By this point, parents were pulling their kids out of the water, muttering about how inconsiderate the whole scene was. But Karen and her family, they were cheering Dave on like he was a hero. Someone must have called the cops because soon enough, flashing lights appeared. An officer strolled onto the beach. He made a beeline for Karen, who tried to act oblivious. Officer, ma'am, can I have a word with you? Karen, feigning innocence. Is there a problem, officer? Officer, we've received multiple complaints about your group causing a disturbance. You'll need to tone it down or relocate. Karen, scoffing. Complaints? We haven't done anything wrong. We're just here enjoying the beach. Diane, stepping in. They've been blasting music, yelling, and her son nearly ran over swimmers with his jet ski. Karen, snapping. Mind your own damn business. Diane, it is my business when your chaos ruins the beach for everyone else. Officer, sternly. Ma'am, here's how this is going to work. You can either move your party away from the pavilion or leave the beach entirely. Karen, hands on hips. You can't make us leave. We have a beach house right over there. Officer, then take your party to your private property. This pavilion's public. Instead of complying, Karen decided to double down. She grabbed a sandwich from her buffet and hurled it at the officer. Officer, calmly pulling out handcuffs. That's assault, ma'am. You're under arrest. Karen's family erupted into chaos. Karen's husband, you can't do this. She didn't mean it. Officer, she just assaulted a police officer. That's not up for debate. Karen screamed as she was cuffed, yelling about lawsuits and threatening to have his badge. Karen to Diane, this is all your fault. You're going to regret this. Diane, smirking, I don't think so. Enjoy your fine. The officer, showing surprising restraint, let Karen go with a hefty fine and a stern warning. He made it clear that if her family didn't pack up immediately, they'd all be removed and fined. Grumbling and swearing, Karen's clan reluctantly packed their tables and coolers, shooting daggers at Diane as they left. Diane, waving, have a great day. Within days, new rules were implemented, no large parties at the beach, and regular patrols by officers to prevent future incidents. As for Karen, she's still around, but she keeps her antics confined to her beach house. The rest of us, we finally get to enjoy the beach in peace. What a crazy family. Taking over a public pavilion, ruining the beach for everyone, and then throwing a sandwich at a police officer? That's a whole new level of audacity. Kudos to Diane for staying composed and standing her ground while dealing with Karen's chaos. The fact that Karen thought her "we live here" card was enough to justify her behavior was laughable. Owning property nearby doesn't mean you get to run roughshod over public spaces. Hey guys, thank you all for watching the video. I'll see you in the next one.